I got the finger from Percy. It's Wednesday night. It's podcast night. We have returning guests. We did this last year with you guys. Okay. So we got Barry and Holly back. This is your third time, I
It's our
believe.
third.
So we're very excited to do this again. Last year we did top five country songs in 2023. And this year we're doing the same thing. Top five country songs of 2024. It's running in conjunction with y'all's top 35
of the year. Yeah.
of the year, right? And I just learned about that today. Last thing.
Isn't that see?
Yeah, I was like, how convenient. This is great. So
Yeah,
good
this is
time.
our third visit, so it kind of SNL. If we have two more, we get to be the five.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, we do. Think we do.
yeah, we're gonna turkey thing, Jack. We're gonna have to come up with jackets.
Okay.
Jackets in the closet at the house.
Okay. We can put a sticker on. That's what. Yeah, naughty. iPod.
Yeah.
What's sticker on it? It's your hot. The hot bud. Right here, Barry. Great. So that's what we're doing. We're excited about it. And this one's usually pretty tough for me and Percy because we're sort of, when it comes to country music, we're a little on the old soul
Mhm.
side, or we find alternative. I'm more of an country alt guy. So it'll be interesting to see what our collective is. And of course that'll be on a playlist. And it'll be on Apple and Spotify. So it'll be good.
Well,
It'll be
we
good.
heard last year because we hear I guess you say the radio friendly songs. We play those, but when you two mention your list, we hear songs that maybe we don't get to play, and we go home. We get to say, okay,
You can listen
this
to
we
it.
listen to what you're talking about, and then we get to hear the other side of the spectrum of songs that maybe album cuts.
Works both ways.
It does.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Of course, y'all bring us stuff. I'm like, okay, I'll listen to the playlist.
Sure.
Of course, we all do. So it turns us on to new music.
Yeah.
And when you get to be like my age,
Yeah.
our age,
Yeah.
it's hard to find new stuff
It
that
is.
you like. So you're in the business of new stuff.
Yeah. I was telling you before we went on that it's been a good year for songwriters.
Mhm.
Some of the best music's come out of Nashville. It's younger artists, but they have an older soul. And some of the songs we're going to mention are from young artists, but it's like their songwriting ability is amazing. And
Great.
that's what my list is more of tonight. You're going to see is the lyrics. I've really tuned into some of the lyrics this year, and there's some great lyrics that hit home to me. Holly's got some that hits home to her, and I think you'll understand whenever we talk about her songs. It's the lyrics is really the key to my
Yeah.
list this year.
That's great. I'm a lyric guy myself.
Well, that's the key to any country song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It is. It's the storytelling.
Ray Charles said it was all about the story.
Yeah.
And Ray Charles loved country music. So
Yeah.
that's why he did it, for the story.
So
So
he said, what, three chords in the truth?
that's it.
That's
Three
a good-
chords in the
all right.
truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, before we get started, let's thank our sponsors, Busted Oak Bourbon Society. We will be at the bar this Saturday from 11 to 4, and we're going to play this playlist in between some of the football games.
Okay.
We usually do, so if y'all are around, come on up. I'll make you a Bloody Mary, whatever. It's a good time.
Yeah.
That's always a good time there. Want to thank Spices Smokehouse Crackers. I think we got some stuff for y'all to take home with you. And of course, Brenly's Family Pharmacy. They do a great job here. They're a local pharmacy. You'll get much better treatment with the local pharmacy as you would a corporate pharmacy. You actually have people that care.
Yes.
So we want to say thanks to them. And with all that being said, I'm excited to do this one.
Mhm.
I'm so glad to have y'all back. I want to make
Thanks for
this
inviting us. It's an honor.
They said, I don't know about an honor.
Oh, they did it.
I'll show up. It's great.
The following that you developed over the past couple of years is very impressive.
Well, I appreciate it.
You already, like Percy said, from scratch from the.
We started with me and Percy sitting around a tripod with iPhone in it and a microphone by ourselves. And thank God for guests, or we wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't be here, period, because we'd have probably killed each other simultaneously. It's very possible. So we're grateful. We've had a good year. Y'all had a great year at QSB.
We
So
have.
y'all just keep rocking along. Best radio station there is. Great
Appreciate that.
range,
Hands
great
down.
DJs. Y'all won an award.
We did. We won
Yeah.
Best Morning Show in Alabama.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. And we've got awards coming up in just a couple of months. We got to get our compilations ready of our morning show, and we're going to be submitting those soon. And so we'll know.
Is this a statewide?
Mhm.
Is it
Statewide,
statewide again?
it's an Alabama Broadcast Association, radio and TV. And you give Holly a lot of credit. She was on the air for like 3 months, and we won Best Morning Show. In the 3 months she was on there, that's the clips we used. And so
Yeah.
she's already part of an award-winning morning show, and she only worked 3 months. So
Yeah,
that's
a
how
whole year's worth
how
of.
talented she is.
Well, I will tell you, y'all are great together.
Thanks, Mike.
Y'all are like
I
a
appreciate that.
life,
Thanks.
fun. Good
She's
stuff.
Yeah.
brought. I've had some great hosts in the past, but Holly has a different take on things, and it's like our minds somehow they're so warped they seem to connect.
Yes. Well, she comes from a place, and then y'all blended so well.
They understand that when you made the comment, mine's reward.
Yeah, yeah. That's how you two
What brings us together?
the elder debate, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was like putting me out. Right, y'all guys. 2024 top 5 country songs. It's supposed to use only one artist per list. I don't know if you doubled up.
Doubled up on one.
That's okay.
Just-
You get a pass.
Okay.
You'll always get a pass. You're gonna have 8 of the same ones. I'm not gonna say that to you. So let's get started. We ready? Wilkie's back here with us. He's got the sniffles. So
Aw.
keep that in the corner back there.
Yeah, don't breathe on me, Wilkie.
Yeah. Thanks for the Christmas gift too. And Merry Christmas to everybody. This is
Merry-
Christmas Hangover Day. And what a better way to start. So honorable mentions first. You can't wait to hear what you have drug out of the wherever cellar, clouds.
My first honorable mention is a person we talked about before we started the podcast, and it's a person we're going to see with a new album out January the 15th. And it's Ringo Starr. And he's already released a couple of singles from that album.
Can't wait.
And this one was Time on My Hands. And it was written and co-produced by the whole album by T-Bone Burnett.
Yeah, that's impressive.
And Ringo said, you know, when he just wanted him to write a song. And when he brought it back to him,
Yeah.
it came with a country song. And then Ringo's like, I'll just do a country album. But Ringo, the help he's enlisted on that album.
What I was going to ask is he always had special guests.
We used to have the Ringo Starr All-Star Band.
Right.
But the
God, that band was crazy.
Yeah.
Joe Walsh.
Yeah.
who
That's right.
They're both maybe the
Catherine Bach and Barbara Hall.
the
Caveman.
the bluegrass girl that came to Molly Tuttle,
Yeah, Molly.
she's going to be on there.
Yeah,
on his
that's impressive.
But he's released 2 singles, and Time on My Hands, I think, is a real country song. And let's face it, Ringo and the Beatles, if there was a country direction, here Ringo. You
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
Oh, the album cover's great. The picture of Ringo profile shot, cowboy hat, and Ringo sunglasses.
Oh.
So it's like, all right, Ringo,
Ah,
the piece.
yeah.
So it could be fun.
and we're getting to go see him at the Ryman.
Always
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah, great.
And my next honorable mention, and this I don't really think it's
Don't
maybe
give me one of those pouches this time like you did last year.
it's like the greatest song of the year, but it was for the reasons it was done. It had to be on. I would think it would have to be on everybody's list. And it's "Darkest Hour" by Eric Church.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I just don't know the money that he raised for those communities. And I actually had a guy at work. Him and his son went to what's he call it, the Big Chief, his bar.
Mhm.
Right.
They went to one of his private concerts at his bar where there was only like 100, 150 people in there. And his son bought tickets and they went to his private concert.
I think that's the bar where Morgan Wallen threw the chair off the top of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
I think it was.
Yeah, it
seriously,
is.
at the Eric
Yeah.
Church's bar.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, like he did kill 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trouble.
Trouble.
Yeah.
He's been controversial.
He had a big year.
Yeah, man, yeah. But Eric Church, you're right. The darkness that it raised by him and Luke Holmes. I forget the third person to put that together. I forget how many millions they raised for the people of North Carolina.
See, I used to be an Eric Church fan, but a guy where it got me to listening to what he called 61 Days in Church, and it's
Mhm.
nothing but covers.
Yeah.
And he does great covers, songs from the band, songs from Marshall Tucker, all kinds of covers. And that's really what got me listening to Eric Church.
Eric Church is a writer. He is.
Eric Church is a storyteller.
Well, you know, he sang Springsteen.
Yeah.
That's one of the greatest
That makes
storytellers there is.
Yeah.
And he wrote a song called "Pledge Allegiance to the Hag." And I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that's all you need to do.
Well, you're off to a good start, Percy. What's the next one? You're rolling.
And my last honorable mention was we talked about before we got ready for the podcast. We'd like to have him come to Averville, and it's Zach Top and beer for breakfast.
Okay.
Zach Top. He's got the classic sound, but he's modern. We like it.
I like that. It's funny because before Percy got here tonight, the three of us, the lobby, the green room, we need to paint it green.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing the ceiling tiles like lime green.
There you go.
You know, we'll do like checkerboard and be like every other night.
I'll get vertigo. But we're talking about it was sort of like a side bet, not really.
You don't talk about me.
Will Percy have that will have actually been played on QSB?
Yeah.
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 So,
Cover under. Yeah.
yeah. So you're sort of in.
Yeah.
You don't. But I think so.
The Eric Church one, yeah.
Yes. I think
Percy always had he had the most unique music taste I have ever seen in my life.
it keeps evolving.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that endeared me to Zach Top was not only some of the lyrics, but the music. It was, especially that beer for breakfast, it was old musically, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And you could, with these modern guys, even you can have like the greatest lyrics in the world. But if you lose me and you don't have no pedal steel, Wilkie, back me up on this, and you just don't have that country sound, you could have the greatest lyrics in the world, and I'm not listening.
But I can usually tell a song when I'm listening. In the first 20 seconds, I'm going to know if I'm going to like this song.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I've been wrong a few times.
But it's hard
for the most part.
I've caught myself so many times because Merle Haggard has got hundreds and hundreds of songs.
Yeah.
And I've caught myself so many times with Merle, especially his older music. And you listen to the song and you don't give it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And you go back and you listen to it, and then when Merle had a way to get to the chorus.
Yeah.
I mean, when Merle was saying holding things together,
Yeah.
I mean, when he gets to that chorus, you're gonna feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just have to give them time, and that's hard to do.
It is.
Yeah.
It's work. It's work. Two ways for me where I missed out. Well, three ways. It's right. That's 75% of the time. I missed out, which is 25% of the time. Or I went ahead and listened to the whole thing, and it was shitty. I wasted 3.5, 4 minutes about it.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
It's funny you say that. A little behind the scenes with Eric Church and Darkest Hour. We heard that he was coming out with a new single, and we heard that it was going to be for benefit. And when we first heard it, we thought, whoa, wait a minute. Barry literally said, are we playing the wrong song? Because it didn't have the Eric Church sound to it. It was so different.
Vocally, it was like in a different.
It was like,
so high pitch, so high.
yeah.
I said,
Right.
It's very
playing the wrong
falsetto
song.
Yeah.
for him, for Eric.
I can't even imagine him doing falsetto, so I'm not aware of this song.
Yeah. Do you agree, Percy? Do you think that it's a different style?
And no, the sound is totally different.
It's totally
from
different,
me.
yeah.
But that's where, and you want to, Faith goes back and mentions the Springsteen whole thing. Where I get the perception that he's not afraid to do his own thing. You know, where you can. Now, I don't want you to go off Johnny Blue Skies.
Wait a minute now.
And no,
I like that.
I like Sturgill, but the thing with Sturgill is Sturgill can go off the map. I don't ever see Eric
Have
Church
y'all
doing
heard
that.
Post Malone cover Sturgill?
No, I haven't.
You'll be in for a treat.
Holly, I'm trying to warm up to this.
I can't. I haven't
Get
yet.
by his face.
We actually seen a lady at Walmart today that looked just like Post Malone with
Yeah.
her face tattoo.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it was awful.
I can't get by Jelly Roll either. Yeah. Those are two. I can't get by.
Oh, you've got to give him a chance.
I have.
Really? Yeah.
And it was one that I mentioned third scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you why.
Great voice, but I want you to tell me why when we get
Well, no, here's the
you got an
thing.
opportunity here.
I cannot get past with Jelly Roll. You've got a great story. People screw up constantly.
Oh, yeah.
But just because you did what you did, I don't have to like your music.
You think he's
I can respect what you've been through, and I can totally respect that. What you've been through, everybody's got to respect that.
Yeah.
And, you know, don't make me feel guilty because I don't like your music. I'm not saying y'all do.
We don't have to not like someone. We're not like, I mean, we don't have to say I don't like Jelly Roll. We can just say, hey, I'm not a fan of this guy.
Sure.
He's probably a great guy. I'd probably hang out with him and drink beer.
That's true in sports with a lot of, we don't like to bring sports in here, with a lot of coaches and stuff. You don't like them, but you respect them.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Saban, we like him.
Do you know he's 5'7", by the way? Little fun fact. No, I didn't. Found that out today.
Really, I didn't know he was that tall.
Yeah.
Got Auburn guy.
Well,
Saban's everywhere now, though. What a star.
he is, yeah.
All right, good. Percy, way to kick us off. Barry, can't wait to hear your list and Holly's list tonight.
We're talking off the air that lyrics, some of the best lyrics I've come across this year in some songs. And the first song I've got is a guy named Cole Wetzel. Cole is somebody to keep an eye on. He's a great songwriter. And he teamed up with a young lady named Jessie Murph, who's like a pop star, but he just wanted to, the record company put them together because they thought, okay, she's a name. We can put her on here. It's going to be a guaranteed hit. He didn't have to have her on there. The song, when I heard the first version of it, it's a version we couldn't play because
It was a insert version.
it's a version. But the line, when I heard that line, I thought that would make a great T-shirt. And sure enough, it is.
The original
They
is
selling T-shirts.
need to take it to your freak show.
Is what they call
But
it. Radio.
the uncensored line is,
I don't need to take it to your shit show.
Ah,
And it's basically, it's called a high road. It's basically about him and this woman are having an argument. And so instead of going through the argument, he's just going to take the high road and it's going to be quiet and just, you win, fine, whatever, I'm done.
so does he have the explicit version as well?
Yeah, the explicit version is on the T-shirt.
Right.
You need to
don't
find that
take
version.
your
Need
hand
the
down.
one that we play.
Cole, I'm not sure. Jesse is from Alabama, the Athens area. But his line is, I'm going to let you cool down while I walk out. You ain't messing me up like the times before. I don't need a ticket to your shit show. I'm going to take the high road.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's just a great line, and that's one of the best-selling T-shirts of 2024 was that T-shirt.
I love it.
Yeah.
I thought that line is so good. That one line made me think, I like
Yeah.
songwriting.
It's good stuff. It's good. So y'all really dug into some stuff. And
Your research.
you're not going to have, here we go with Jason Aldean. I love it. Okay.
The other one is a guy named Kane Brown. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge Kane Brown fan, but after hearing some of the Orchid story, I grew up with basically Boys and Girls Clubs took care of him, and he's a big supporter of it now. But he has a song called Backseat Driver. It's not what you would think. It's a song about your kids sitting behind you
Yeah.
in the seat. And you've seen the video. Holly's not a fan because
Hate it.
it makes her sad.
It makes me so sad.
Why?
It is the sad because it reminds me that these children are not going to be children forever.
Well, when they grow up, they still get pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm so scared of the unknown.
Well, this reminds me of a story, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So my daughter always, of course, rode behind me in the car seat.
Yeah.
Driving around. I love Jimmy Buffett, and I always had. She was like 3 or 4. I put in Jimmy Buffett's greatest hits. Always played it.
Yeah.
Well, there's a song on there called "Why Don't We Get Drunk?" Maybe the 6th or 7th time thinking about it. He's starting to sing along. She got the lyrics wrong. She always did. Why don't we get truck? Yeah, that's working on a truck. What the deal? so I'm not going to get any kind of trouble. It's funny that it's a child's audio, if you would.
Yeah.
So, good stuff.
Well, the line real quick is, I wish I could be more like her. My little dangling feet, pretty in pink, backseat driver. One day I'll look back and I'll miss when my whole world wasn't over that dash. It was back there, buckled in the back seat.
Ah,
I know.
Now,
Hits me.
so it's not what's in front of it that he cares much. It's what was sitting behind me, the backseat driver.
great.
Yeah.
And that
Right.
line, that's the video's got his daughters in the video with him sitting in the back seat.
But I'm the twin
No.
now.
No.
It's
Yeah.
touching. It's well written.
No, I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I'm too tender.
Yeah, same.
Those are the two that
I'm a big mushball myself, believe it or not.
Those are good ones.
so.
Yeah, great. All right. What do you got?
Bringing a little bit of female rage to the boys' club.
Well, there's 4 of us. There's one,
There,
two, three,
yeah.
4.
One of me.
Well, I bet my money's on you.
Megan Maroney. She's made my list
What's her
twice.
last name?
Maroney.
Okay.
Megan Maroney. She is a songwriter herself. She's not one of these that sits around and lets other people write for her. She writes her own music. Gotta respect that. And, you know, we've all been in toxic relationships, and she writes about songs that are relatable. And, you know, you've been in the ones where you keep trying to make it work and it just doesn't work. And she talks about finally overcoming her breakup to get phone calls from a no caller ID, and that's the name of the song, No Caller ID.
Okay.
So he's hiding who he is, and
Yeah.
he's calling her. And she says, I'm 2 months deep in therapy, been finally getting sleep. My friends quit checking up on me because I'm back on my feet. And it talks about just kind of getting over the breakup and getting back on her feet. And then he's still there calling with the no caller ID. I think we've all had that same.
Right. Right.
We've had that no caller ID person in our life,
Oh,
right?
sure. I got one that still stalks my Facebook, the podcast, everything. She'll tell you.
Shout out.
Shit. Up tonight. Oh,
Female rage. Go. Rage.
what you say.
Okay. My second one, this is a girl that I have followed, and I actually saw her last year at a conference we went to in Nashville.
Tell them where you saw her.
At CRS.
She's in the bathroom.
And she was in the bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah, you got packs of girls.
Well, she was actually with her pack.
Oh,
Wanted to say hello to her because I love her. Her name's Priscilla Block. She is so fun to watch on tour and to watch her play. And the song is Good on You. And when you hear the song, you think about she's female. She's singing about clothes or accessories. But it's actually she's saying good for you. And she switches it midway through the song. And instead of saying good on you for you, it's actually instead of me, it's her that looks good on you.
oh,
And so she says, I wore that dress, acted my best, hiding my mess with that same perfume. It hurt like hell finding myself, like a light bulb lighting up the neon truth. So she's
Wow.
saying, I couldn't even be myself because of you. But she moves on, and then she finds herself, and she gets back into those short shorts.
good for her.
Good for her.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
Good lines.
Yeah.
All right. That's yours?
That's
You got
mine.
another one?
That's all.
Okay. Good.
Thanks.
A great start. My first honorable mention is by a legend, probably the legend of country music, Willie Nelson.
Oh, yeah.
So he had 2 albums in 2024. And I'm going, and Percy knows where I'm going with this. He covered a Warren Zevon song.
Oh.
So Zevon wrote the song when he had terminal cancer.
Oh.
You know, he knew. And he chose not to go through all the chemo and therapy because he wanted to finish this album. And he did, and then he died.
Oh,
But there's one song he did that Willie covered, which really has me worried because Willie's 91, and he's covering this song that Warren did before he checked out. It's called Keep Me in Your Heart. So before you appreciate Willie's, you should listen to Warren's. Yeah. And so anyway, I hope Willie stays around for a while.
Yeah,
We all understand, Percy.
we hope it's not foreshadowing, but he is 91.
I mean, my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 59 in June. I hope I make it to 60. So, anyway, that's my person.
We used
Next
to
one.
play a game on the radio called Older Than Willie. We would find things like a stapler, which is older, a stapler or Willie Nelson, and it's amazing some things you could find that people will get wrong. Willie's older than so many things that you
So never.
Stapler.
Willie.
Okay.
So the game was called Older Than Willie, and we were.
Too many things here. Oh,
It's a good drinking game too. So if you miss it, you got to get it.
Shot of the miss.
If you miss it, you got to take a shot.
man, I want to play this when we get it.
Yeah.
We'll go around the office. It'll be 5 minutes. We're going to have to call Uber. That's good. That's a good game. My second one's Cody Jinks. Cody had an album come out and it was good. Percy and I got to see Cody at the Alabama Theater. It's been years ago, and it was a good time. Alabama Theater was not prepared for Cody Jinks fans.
Really?
I think we just about drank them out of here. Met an interesting character that thought Percy was wearing a Whitey Morgan hat, and that's if we like honky tonkin'. We're like, what's this guy coming up with? And then his buddy was going to get some beer, and this guy was country as a turnip grain. He said, "Hey, Dick Nuts, bring me back a red hot." And Lauren,
But we realized that they were from Pullman.
so I told him, Outlaws the Mustang,
Ah.
which I'm surprised that's not being played on QSB. It may be.
No.
It's not.
Look it up.
Yeah, but well, I think we
But
could.
you've Cody Jinks before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one for you to check out, right?
Yeah, gotta check that one out.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next one even shocks me that I put this on the list. This isn't anything just the name of this guy, Shabuzi.
Oh,
Is it a bar song?
No.
Good. Is it?
good news.
Is
Yes.
it good news?
Good news.
Good news
That
is
is
good.
I liked it.
Listen, we're playing that as a fan favorite. It's off the chart, but it's number one in our hearts.
He's a great
Love
singer.
it.
It's good, and someone was talking about it. It's only been about 3 weeks since I discovered this guy, and someone was talking about Shabuzi. I was like, "What the hell is a Shabuzi?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I pulled up and I saw the video. It was like, this guy with dreadlocks, but they had pedal steel in it.
Well, it was.
Mhm.
Some
Yeah.
old school
It is
country going back.
Great
Wrote it, and I was like, "That's good."
Was it not Thanksgiving Day where he played one of the halftime shows?
I think that's
I think
right.
you're right.
That's-
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I think
I never heard the guy
Yeah.
until then.
Yeah.
That's great. That's the one. That's my one surprise.
Okay.
Because I put
That's
somebody on the list named Shabuzi.
Shabuzi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figured this might have been a reggae, top five.
I thought first time I heard his name, it's okay, I want to hear what it sounds like.
Barry
Right.
said this is going to be a one-hit wonder. This guy will do the bar song, and we probably will never see him again. But then
He
he
released
released his album.
Yeah.
We heard the other songs, and we're like, wait a minute. This
This
guy.
guy's good. I mean, I'm going to give credit where
He's
credit
a
is.
songwriter, yeah.
Yeah, he is a good songwriter.
At least you had a bunch of people going around saying for shizzle, and now you got white people going around singing saying shizzle.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions are out of the way. The top fives. Rubber meeting the road right here, Percy. What you got for five?
My number 5 you just mentioned a while ago, and it's the great shotgun Willie Nelson, and it's Keep Me in Your Heart for a while.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people gonna keep him
Yeah.
in
Oh,
their hearts for a
yeah.
while.
Yeah.
I had a campaign sign this year in my front yard that said Willie Nelson for president.
Yeah. Willie is just evergreen. He just reaches every age and every, now that he's hit country, every genre. He just blends, and he's like
He does.
somebody that everybody knows and loves.
But he kind of plays that old card because it may have been 8, 9 years ago. One morning I remember this real early. Somebody had broke a story that he had died.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he got a chuckle or it frustrated him, but he went home and wrote the song "Still Not Dead Yet."
I like that.
He's got his own secrets to survival. I think we probably know what they are.
Yeah.
Good one. Barry, what's your
we
number?
know what it is.
We talked about Post Malone earlier, and I'll be honest, before Post Malone released the country album, I wasn't a fan.
Mm-hmm.
You've been a fan for a long time, and
Mhm.
I'm kind of with you. I've been bad about judging my looks.
And I'm sorry about that. I can't get his face out of my brain when his music comes on.
Then he was on Taylor Swift, one of her new songs.
Fortnite.
Very good song. And then he released his country album, and he has most of it is him singing with someone else, except for one song called Yours. He wrote it for his daughter. And I got to listen to the music and the lyrics. It's some of the best lyrics that makes me think of when my daughter, which maybe soon and gets married, that this is the lyrics say, she might be your better half. Yeah, but she's my everything. We'll both love her forever, but I loved her long before. And this is the part that got me. It says, and one day I know I'll give her away, buddy. That don't mean she's yours.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to give her away, but that don't mean she's yours.
You can like.
That's just a good lyric, and it's all the whole song is based on this. She may be yours now, but maybe she's mine.
She's yours
My
first.
daughter got engaged Christmas Eve.
Oh.
So
You need to listen to this because
I
it's
will.
well written.
And his name's Mike.
Mm.
And I welcomed him as a
Do
son.
we pick him?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
like comments,
Good.
but he's still mine.
You'll like this song. It's
Yeah,
Like,
look.
she was yours first too.
it's good.
Yeah.
Any daughter daddy would like that song.
Yeah, it's well written.
Yeah.
So my number 5, this whole year for me, and I'll talk about this more, has been about like healing and getting over things that have kind of traumatized me in the past and that I've shoved down and hidden. Number 5 is "Am I Okay" by Megan Maroney, and it's actually a song talking about. She says, "I check my pulse and my heart's still beating. I exhale and I'm still breathing. Both feet on the ground, but something's changed." She's saying, wait a minute, for the first time, I feel happy and at peace. And am I okay? Like I'm not used to this peace
Right.
that I'm experiencing. And she just says, "Am I okay?" But I like Megan because she writes all of her own music tracks, and so she's a good
From
songwriter
her personal experience.
from her personal experiences.
like
Yeah.
I like when the song is done by the artist, written by the artist, and it's about their personal experience.
Yeah.
I've always felt like they somehow got a little more out of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel it a little bit. Great story. Can't make this stuff. Not this Megan Bologna. Maroney?
Maroney. Yeah.
As long as it costs a mire.
Yeah. That was your
That's my number.
number 5. Here we go. We talk about Willie. Let's talk about his son Lucas.
Okay.
All right. Y'all familiar with Lucas? Yes.
Yeah.
I am.
He was with the Promise of the Real. He has since then not with the Promise of the Real anymore. They might do some reunion stuff. I would imagine they might do
I
some.
think they just took a hiatus.
Yeah, and with everything going on with, Willie's getting older, Lucas performed at his birthday celebration, did Angel Flying Too Close to the Ground, almost had a breakdown.
Mhm.
It was great.
Yeah.
Well, now he's covered Adele.
What?
Someone Like You, Lucas Nelson.
Oh, that's
and
gotta
it's
be good.
almost bluegrass.
That's gotta be
It
good.
is as country as
Wow.
a chicken coop, man. And it's really good. And you can hear the Willie in his voice. I mean, you can always, but in this particular, you can hear it. It's great. So,
And it almost sounds kind of creepy when you say that. You can hear the Willie in his voice.
yeah, right. That could be
Sad.
a t-shirt. That's stuff like that in Forrest Gump, baby. It's funny. I struck the other day after Christmas, and it said, "Ho ho ho! I'm a machine gun now," and on the back it says, "Yippee ki yay!" And like, it's in my shopping cart. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I'm overdrawn. I think. Percy, what's number 4 for you?
Number 4 for me will be one that will make you happy, my friend.
All right.
And it's Mr. Johnny Blue Skies and Who I Am.
Try Blue Sky?
No.
It
Oh, I did not know.
It's so weird. Now,
Amen.
It's weird. But weird.
Amen.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's been another country artist that had an alter ego. Do you know who it was?
Yes, I
Yes,
do.
I do. It goes way back.
First
Chris-
alter ego,
What
all
was that? Was that like
Chris-
existential?
Oh,
Yeah.
it wasn't it, Ben?
It's terrible.
It's all playing.
Roosevelt.
Oh yeah, that's a whole different story. That's how he signs off his dirty text messages to women.
He was wanting that girl to call him Roosevelt.
Who knows?
Garth Brooks. I'm playing all this Garth, and the guy's a pervert.
Okay.
I had no idea that.
Still not
No, with the baby.
know about, but
There's some alias has been going on for a long time. I mean, everybody knows Luke the Drifter.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, hell, if you have an alias, I have an alias.
I've got two.
But everybody knows. One. Yeah, three. I'm just not gonna say the other one.
Yeah.
All right. My number four.
Got two or four.
All right. Now, y'all know who Charlie Crockett is? Barry.
I do.
Here's number 4.
You better let
Now,
that
you
go.
know, Barry, go. Let's get a little carried away.
We were talking earlier about Jelly Roll, and I'm not sure if you don't like him, where you stand on, but had a chance to meet him. I've heard his story. His story, to me, is what makes me like his music. When he first came into country, I knew he was a rapper, and I heard the name Jelly Roll, and I judged by thinking, what's this guy got to say that's going to interest me? But his first song was "Son of a Sinner," and he bases a lot of his songs on personal experiences. And yes, he had crappy life. He was arrested how many times? It's been
20 something.
something, and he spent much of his like 14 to 20s in prison in and out of juvie.
Abilities.
But now that he's out, he's honestly turned his life around, and now he's taken the money he made in his rap career, and he's going back to the places he spent time in prison, and he's started music programs in some of these jails, and in some of these, he's giving kids a chance who, he said, if somebody had not given me a chance when I was in prison to be able to sing and find something I could do, he said, I'd be dead. Somebody gave him a chance. So now he's going back to these prisons, and everywhere he speaks at prisons, and he's trying to spread the word that you may have screwed up, but you can still possibly
Right.
make it in life if you don't give up and somebody gives you a chance.
You never know. Johnny saved Merle in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
could find there could be somebody in that prison.
And there's
Yeah.
a Hulu special, Jelly Roll Hulu special. If you get a chance, it's an hour special going back and showing what he's done. It's worth a watch. It really
Okay.
is.
We'll watch it, Barry.
It may change your thinking on
Now,
how.
as we talked earlier, I mean, I'm not a Jelly Roll guy.
I wasn't either until I began, and I had a chance to bump into him in Nashville about 2 years ago.
Play ping pong with
Yeah.
it. Like, he's like,
Like that. Yeah.
okay, they're blowing it off like, oh, yeah, we made
Story, then they were having a ping pong tournament, and they were warming up, and I was walking down the hallway, and they said, hey, we're about to start in 30 minutes. We need some people that come in here and just practice real quick with the singer. So Jelly Roll was there, and they said, why don't you hit some with Jelly Roll? I said, okay. He walked over to me, huge guy, and he says, man, we're going to do a lot of trash talking and talking some shit tonight. I want you to really get into this and make me feel at home. He said, whatever you want to say. I said, okay. So we were hitting a few, and he was terrible. And finally,
Well, how do you think the move?
so he hit one, and I said, man, I'm a little surprised. I thought you'd be better than this. Didn't they have ping pong in prison? He finally said, that's good.
Call
yeah.
But anyway, he has a new album that came out, and the song is called Winning Streak. And
Okay.
he was telling the story how he wrote this. He said he was on his way to a writing session, and he decided he needed to go to an AA meeting. He said, so I pulled into one, found out where it was. He said, I don't like to go in there and people say who I am. I sat in the very back. He said, there was a young guy who stood up and said, my name is whatever. He said, I had a drink this morning. He said, I need some help. And one of the older guys walked over and put his arm around the kid and said, hey, buddy, nobody came in here on a winning streak. It's okay. In other words, nobody came in here with with a month sober or 2 months sober. And Jelly Roll said that line hit me. I
Yeah.
went to the writing session and said, I don't know what you guys want to write, but I've got a line about winning streak. Nobody comes in here on a winning streak when they go to an AA meeting. It may be your first time. You may have had a drink an hour ago, but we're all here to help each other.
It's so intriguing to me how these songwriters can speak up on something. Their antennas are out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll hear something like Percy was saying the other night. Hank Jr. always carried like a little notepad around.
Right.
I think a lot of these guys did. And I don't know about y'all, but I've tried to write a song.
I've tried now.
And part of the problem is I don't carry a little pad around.
True.
I bet if I spend a year, this could be a challenge.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
spend a year with a pad next to you.
I think we could.
Yeah.
You could probably put enough one-liners of thought
I think you're right.
to string it together.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
challenge
Yep.
next year.
Yep. We got it.
Country Songs of 2025.
That's a good idea.
Let's go.
Let's see what
I bet collectively we can come up with country.
Right.
All right, on.
Yeah.
Game on. Holly?
Number 4, I picked Pink Skies by Zach Bryan. You guys like Zach Bryan?
Yeah, I do.
I do. I like his sounds. I like his music. This song reminds me of my grandparents. They were always some of my biggest champions and always my corner. And they just always said, you have a calling on your life. You are meant to do big things. You're meant to be with people and to help people. And I think I never stopped striving to do big things because of my grandparents, because they said, this is your calling on life. And the lyrics are, if you could see them now, you'd be proud. Your funeral was beautiful. I bet God heard you coming. I bet God heard you coming. So when they died, they're both gone.
Yeah.
I bet God heard you coming.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
But I just think about, my girls and me, and to my grandparents, if you could see them now, you'd be proud.
That's great.
Yeah.
You got great kids.
I got good kids.
Yeah. Good choice. But a good story.
Yeah.
That goes along with that. All right. So I spilled the beans earlier on Charlie Crockett. That's who I've gone with my number 4. Do y'all play much Charlie?
No.
Okay. Well, he's got one song I really, really like. It's called Hey, Mr. Nashville.
Okay.
So I haven't done a deep dive on him yet. It was more of a discovery this week, but my discovery's all based on my audio file, and I heard this guy said, this real country.
Okay.
It's also $10 Cowboy is a pretty good song.
Yeah, that one too. Yeah.
That he
So
put out.
that might be something worth, it'll be on the playlist, but y'all check this guy out.
Okay.
Yeah, Charlie Crockett.
Yeah.
All right. Nitty gritty time, Percy. What's your number 3?
My number 3, everybody knows. If they don't, they should. In this room is one of my favorites, and it's Whitey Morgan, who came out with only a single this year.
That counts.
And the song is "Let Me Roll," and it's basically just about life on the road. Is all it is.
All right.
And
I see that.
a lot of his songs are about life on the road, because
Whitey stays on the road, from what I gather. I mean, he'll play the big thing. I've seen him open for Bob Seger.
Well, and I'll tell you,
and we've seen him in like a small bar in Huntsville before.
if you've
Yeah.
never listened to any Whitey stuff and you want to hear real country music,
Yeah.
go listen to the album Honky Tonks and Cheap Motels.
Mm-hmm.
It's in my opinion, one of the greatest country albums of the past 20 years.
Okay.
Amazing.
Good stuff. Go ahead and kick off number 3s. Barry, what you got?
Keith Urban. He has
All
a
right.
new album came out. He has a song called "Break the Chain." It may not be a single, don't know, but he was telling how he wrote the song. It's about his. He's never talked much about his personal life, other than the fact that he went to rehab when he first married Nicole. But
Right.
he said when he was a kid, he grew up in an alcoholic family. His dad was an alcoholic, and he said an abusive relationship. And he wrote this song about his dad. And in an interview, he said, "We don't get to choose our family or where we were born or how we were raised. None of us chose that, but it's not too late to break the chain of what we suffered through, what we went through, and make a change in our lives to try to do better." And this song is called "Break the Chain," about even though your dad was abusive to you, it doesn't mean you have to continue that. to your family and your kids. Have a great
Yeah.
sing.
Amen.
And he's such a good guitar player.
Right. I was about to say,
Musically, you love the guitar part of it is really
I always have admired his guitar skill.
good.
Yeah.
Go overcome a lot.
I don't want to overstep or tell Barry's story, but that is relatable to him because he had abusive family. I don't know if you want to talk on that, but he had a family member, and Barry's also very private too. Like Keith Urban doesn't go a lot into his personal life, but Barry had it tough growing up, man, like really bad, and went through a lot of things, and I think he identifies with Keith in the song because of that.
Yeah, well, it's the first time I heard Keith talk about his family life, and it meant a lot hearing him not be afraid to open up and say, "Hey, I went through this. If I can get through it, you can get through it too."
And I will say something. Most people, I'm gonna say the average music listener cannot comprehend this, but people say, country music's sad, blues music is sad. But it's not. It lets you know that, hey, somebody else had my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relate to them.
Yeah.
You know, Buddy Guy tells his story. He saw a woman in an airport, and he owns his Buddy Guy's Legends Club in Chicago. And she said, I can't go to blues shows because they're sad. And Buddy gave her a ticket to his show. And she came up at the end of the show and said, I did not hear one single sad song. It's a healing process.
It is, yeah. Yeah.
The world's too afraid to open up and tell that I have a problem. I'm not okay. But now people are finally beginning to open up and say, "Hey, I've had problems, but I fought them and I've overcome it, and here's how I did it."
Yeah.
For years, people would not talk about any kind of mental issues. They would not talk about it.
I think came out of the offspring of the greatest generation, and then the generation after that one. You know, our grandfathers that served never talked about it. It wasn't manly to show your emotions.
I know this past week I had to
say just man.
You're right. No, you're right.
I had to go to a funeral and bury a woman that was very dear to me. And I know after it was over with, all I did was, it was sad, but I went home and listened to gospel music. And it made me feel better.
Yeah.
You got to listen to Paint Skies, Percy, by Zach Bryan. That's going to be a good one for you.
The first song I ever heard by Zach Bryan had me hooked.
Yeah.
Because I remember the line, it said, baptize me in a bottle of beam and put Johnny on the vinyl.
Yeah.
That's a good line.
From his song Revival.
Yeah.
And I was hooked after that.
I like that too. So we talk about healing. My number 30 is Kelsey Ballerini, Penthouse. She talks about, country music. We always talk about breakups and failed marriages and the ones that got away. And with Kelsey, I went through a breakup at the beginning of this past year, and it took me a while to heal and learn my mistakes. And there were parts of me that needed to change, and it was hard to accept that. And, things happen. We split up. We went our different ways. But I think things in the end work out when they're supposed to. If you're in the position where you don't put yourself and hold your own value. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
You have to hold your own value, even when you're in that relationship. So,
well, if you don't hold your own value, how can you be valuable in a relationship that you're in? You got to bring yourself.
You do.
And have confidence in it. Let's struggle with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Yeah.
We're self-doubters at the
Yeah.
beginning, so that's great. All right, I'm looking forward to hearing.
It's a good one. Penthouse.
Okay, yeah, looking forward to it. The playlist is going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to that. My number 3, Red Clay Strays, Mobile, Alabama. Have y'all played any of them?
Not yet. They're just now getting ready to release singles too.
Yeah, they're getting ready.
Well, they got a good one for you. It's called Drowning. Okay, I don't know if you've heard it. Have you heard that one first?
I've listened to the whole new album, and it's very good. I was not a Red Clay Strays fan
I wasn't either
until this last album, and it's really good.
Yeah.
It's got a little more soul to it.
It does. And it's sort of swampy. What's that accent? It's got that swampy country sound to it, so which I'm a fan of. So it's really worth a listen. So my number 3.
I like it.
Yeah, round in the bend. You, Percy. What's your number 2?
You want to read my number 2?
No one else like me. Great place race.
Oh,
Yeah, it's great when we discover the same.
Some weeks we are a lot, and I want to tell everybody that don't know we do not discuss
okay.
our songs. These are just
Yeah, we do not. I have no idea what he's coming in. Here.
organically it just happens. And I think
Yeah.
one time since we have been doing this, we have both had the same number 1 song.
Really?
It's sad that I remember that, but it's when we did covers.
That's right. That's right.
What was your favorite cover?
And our favorite cover was Joe Walsh's cover. Not Joe Walsh, but Joe Cocker's cover of the Beatles, with a little help from my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I like that.
good stuff. All right, it's a good one. Barry.
My number 2 is a guy named Jackson Dean.
I'm not familiar.
He was Yellowstone is where they heard it. They
Oh,
put it on Yellowstone to look at. He had a new song released just a few weeks ago. The first time both of us heard it, the lyrics hit. It's called "Heavens to Betsy,"
okay.
and it's a line he come across years ago, and he said he wrote the song. It's basically an apology from someone who has died to his daughter who's still on Earth. It's a song asking for forgiveness from his child, and the fact that he said many may be surprised that I made it to heaven. The life I lived here on Earth. Many are surprised I'm up here, but I'm up here now and I'm watching over you. And one of the lines says, I don't know if you can hear me, but up here you're coming in clear as a bell. Blink twice if you remember, just skipping rocks on the river. And I told Holly the first time I heard
Blink
that,
twice if you remember.
that's something that me
That
and
got me.
my
Yeah.
son Reed used to go do all the time. And when Reed passed, he had a troubled life, and many people were wondering, did he make it to heaven? And I'm glad to say that he did, that he was saved and he's up there. And I can honestly see him singing this from this point of view of
Right.
Reed's there. Some people might have doubted, but he's up there looking down on me. And it's the line of blink twice if you remember, skipping rocks. And it's like he's looking down, and sometimes when I blink, it just
You know, and I
Yeah.
mentioned this with a sweet soul that I had to lay to rest this past weekend, but it's comforting to know that they are looking down on
Yeah.
me.
It is. So the song is well written from the point of view of somebody who didn't expect to make it to heaven. They did. And then now they're getting to look down on and basically apologize to my child for not being able to be the father I was when I was here on earth.
That's
Yeah.
deep.
That
So
is
it's
deep.
very deep. So it's well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seen the video. He
It's
recorded
so
this video sitting on a mountaintop, just him
It's just a
and
CB radio.
and the guy's crying as he's doing the video. So
This is like Vince Gill.
He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good. Jackson Dean's got a great voice.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Yellowstone keeps putting them out there.
Yeah,
Don't
he sure
they?
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeepers.
Well, and the news show, Landman,
Landman.
Landman.
they've been putting music on there because they used Whitey's song a
Soundtrack's
week or
very
two
good.
ago. Yeah. And Billy Bob's a big music person anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy
Yeah,
Bob and the
he is.
Boxmaster.
Yeah, yeah.
We're 2 degrees away from Billy Bob because that guy back there, Mike Bruce, was Billy Bob's drummer in the Box.
Wow.
Geez.
Yeah.
My mom had a huge crush on Mike Bruce growing up.
Yeah,
He did. Won't admit it to my daddy.
of course.
But
Mike.
you know, he came into Jefferson's a couple times when we had Mike, and Mom would be like,
But you know,
"What's he doing?"
I got them together
Yeah,
to play at Jefferson
Yeah.
Chamber of Commerce.
yes.
And you know,
He's such a great character.
when they came for the concert, I went and picked him up at his home in Georgia.
Oh,
And if I had it to do over, I would have just took a recorder and just started it.
yeah.
Because all the stories that we went through, you know, hey, what about this group? What about this person? Just all the stuff.
It's funny how we mentioned Landman. Next thing you know, we're talking about Mike
Mike
Bruce.
Yeah.
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 He's connected.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff.
All right, number 2, Where the Wild Things Are by Luke Combs. Have you guys heard this one?
I just know about there a movie called that. Something like
Totally different. Totally different.
this big, freaking scary looking, colorful. I don't even know what that was.
This is such a good storytelling song.
Good.
It talks about a guy and he's looking up to his brother and he's got an Indian scout as black as his jacket. And he talks about watching his brother grow up and kind of leave their home, go out to California, live this new life. And through the song, he's talking about how his brother died. And it had been floating around in country music for a while. And Eric Church almost picked it up.
All right.
But Luke Combs snagged it first, and Eric Church said, "All right, you can have this. Go ahead. I'll give you one, buddy." And the lyrics are those Indian scouts, man. They're built for speed, and he hit that guardrail at 3:30.
Oh no.
Yeah, lit up those streets that never sleep when the skies go dark. We buried him out in the wind, neath the West Coast stars, out where the wild things are.
God, I
Yeah,
have to know that.
deeper, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Luke Combs thing.
Yeah.
The movie just waiting to be filmed.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, the guys.
I mean, I like when you did better together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just as good as that.
Yeah, oh, it's better.
It's good. I'll be in.
It really is
Because
better.
I gave that one a pass. Everything else he did,
I understand. I understand. The storytelling on this is supreme.
It is.
It is so good.
I can't wait for this playlist.
Mhm.
Yeah. Y'all get ready for the playlist. We got two pros in here doing this music genre in here. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, Wilkie. Thanks. Nice reminder. And true. All right, my number 2. I can read this. Oh, this is a great one. Y'all know who Margot Price is?
Mhm.
Who Billy Strings is?
Oh, yeah.
They came together. And Margot Price's album that she did a song. It's great. I love her.
Hmm.
I mean, to me, she's like the next. She's alt country a little bit. I saw her perform. She opened for Jason Isbell last summer and never heard of her. My beautiful wife Amanda told me about Margaret Price. Looked ever since. And I love the title of this. Too Stoned to Cry.
Ah.
Margot Price featured Billy Strings, and Billy's got this great country voice.
Yes, he does.
It's fantastic, and if you've never heard her, it's almost like a throwback, if you will. It's almost like a George and Tammy thing going on.
A good introduction to Margot Price. Probably was the first introduction for me from serious outlaw country, and it was "Hurting on the Bottle."
Oh, that's a great song.
That's a great intro to Margot Price.
Yeah.
She's fabulous. All right. Can't believe we're at number 1.
Yeah, number 1.
Time flies when you're having fun. But y'all having fun. I sure am. Yep. Percy, number 1 for you.
My number 1, in my opinion, is the greatest country album that came out this year.
Okay.
And we did an episode on him, and it's by the great Dwight Yoakam.
Mm-hmm.
And from the title of this song to the lyrics to the music in this song, it's a country song, and the title is "Hand Me Down Heart."
Hand Me Down Heart.
Yes.
Okay.
This song has got a line in it at the first of it. And it's like the second or third line, and it says, "It's been known to skip a beat."
I like that.
And you know what that's a reference to? It's a reference to one of his great buddies, the great Buck Owens.
Oh.
When Buck Owens sings, Buck Owens sang a song called "My Heart Skips a Beat." That's reference.
Put that Buck Owens baseball card right in there to stare at me.
I see it. Yeah. Okay.
All right, that's good. All right, you've been planning that. All right, Barry, number 1.
I know we mentioned not the same artist shouldn't be on your class, but this guy,
We don't care.
Jelly Roll, I'm a fan after hearing his last album, but he's really talked about mental health, about how he struggled so much, he even had to cancel a couple of things because he just wasn't there and then has some problems, but it's called "I Am Not Okay." And it's the number 1 song a few weeks ago. He talks about mental health, and the lines say, "I know I can't be the only one who's holding on for dear life, But God knows, I know when it's all said and done, I'm not okay, but it's all going to be all right. It's not okay, but we're all going to be all right.
That's good.
He's saying basically it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
We all have days, and it's okay to struggle. And he's one of the first artists I've heard in the past year who's stepping forward and saying we all have mental issues. It's
Sure we
okay.
do.
It's okay to say that I'm not okay and ask for help. And
Yeah.
people have really began concerts. You've seen some of the footage.
Yeah.
They're going to his concerts and saying that he's finally telling me that I'm not one of the only ones in the world suffering from mental issues.
He sounds like an ambassador.
Well, he's so good. He
Yeah,
uses his
that.
platform for mental health and
Well, I'd much rather artists use their platforms for things that are positive instead of politics. If politics are not positive, and I don't care who you are and who you voted for, I bleed purple. That's red, white, and blue. And when an artist gets stuck on politics, to me, you're like, that's your end.
Yeah.
Because you're going to piss some people off.
Oh, yeah.
If it's in country music,
You
be
can't-
careful,
yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
Because he likes it. Yeah, now there's change. Well, world
They do.
No, I don't want to let anybody think like any names in this world that I am comparing Jimmy Rowe to John R. No, that was on purpose. To John R. Cash. But you can see the similarities.
Yeah.
What Johnny had his demons, and when he finally came through the other side, he was going on crusades with Billy Graham.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and it probably, if it hadn't been for
went on
June,
USO tour.
Yeah.
hadn't been for June, he would have OD'd
You're right.
on pills.
Yeah.
You know, once he got his life straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just, I don't want nobody in my community coming after me for comparing him to John R.
Oh, no.
The similarities are there. I mean,
He's using his platform to
yes.
help people.
Yeah.
And anybody that's doing
Which
that,
is okay in my book.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Holly?
All right, we're going to take a turn right here. We're going to get a little serious. So, Barry means a lot to me. He truly is my best friend.
Well, I know that you mean a lot to Barry, too. You know, this is mutual. You can hear it in your show.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We had a podcast. We were talking podcast earlier about how big audience you have, and our most listened to episode. This happened to be the one that was there.
He honored Reed.
The last 2 years, I had not worked on the day that Reed passed away. I refused to work with Holly, and I honestly think that God told me that I'm not saying I heard voices, but He said, "I think you need to work on this day that he passed away. I think there's people who need to hear something."
Yeah.
And Holly convinced me that I think you need to come in and do the show.
Yeah.
She said, "We're going to make this as positive as we can." And we went over before the show what we're going to talk about. And I even played the episode again where the first day I came back after Reed passed, after 2 weeks, I recorded it, I played it back. And my first time on the radio, I thought about retiring after Reed passed.
Right.
I was that close to this thing. I can't.
Yeah.
I do radio, much less a morning show. But I came back.
Happy and peppy and.
Well, it's hard to be happy in the morning.
Period.
Yeah.
If I get a text at 8 o'clock, I'm pissed off.
That's because you're not awake by 8 o'clock.
I'm awake, but I'm not ready for that shit at 8 o'clock.
You know what time we get up?
Y'all probably get up at about 3:30.
Yeah. Yeah. Get up at 3. Barry gets up at 3. I get up at 3:30.
Which it's a grind, and I don't. People,
It's
you know,
a dedication.
I worked
Yeah.
a very short period in radio. I didn't have to do a morning show. I was just a drunk college guy coming on there having fun. But I had friends that got into radio, and they did morning shows, or they did the late one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a grind, and to do it. How many years have you been doing that, Barry?
30 years. Yeah.
30 years, yeah.
Brother, you'll never, even when this is done, you ain't sleeping at 9 o'clock.
On Saturday mornings when I don't work, I'm still waking up. My body wakes me up.
It has to.
It
will screw your mouth.
It does.
Yeah.
I've been down that road. I got up for 4 o'clock at 4 o'clock in the morning for 20 years. So
My body will keep doing it.
it does. And you can't break that habit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and, same with me. It's just on the other side.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
stay up later and get up later. So
Yeah,
it's all,
yeah.
all depends. But
This is a particular podcast. It's turned out to be the most listened to thing we've done on the radio since. And I had more people reach out to me and respond to what we did that day. And they were telling me how much what I said and we said helped them. And I think the voice I heard that day say, you need to do this was exactly correct because I never had that kind of response in my radio career that people were touched by something that we said that day.
that's great. That's a
Yeah.
great story.
So my song is what he had for his number 2. It's Heavens to Betsy. And all summer, Barry and I have worked on the morning show. We completely restructured it from anything it had ever done. We kind of went back to the basics and wanted to build it from the ground up. And one of the things that we spent a lot of time talking about was his son Reed that died. And something that a lot of people don't know is that Reed died in Barry's arms. His 27-year-old son died in his arms, and he had to let him go.
Yeah.
And it makes me emotional because I know that I never got to meet Reed, but Reed has molded Barry into the person that he is, which is the person that I work with every day. And
It's rubbing off on you.
yeah, and I believe that we have such a gracious God, and that one can look past our sins on this earth and still take us in and say, "You are my child." And the song lyric says, I bet you're just as surprised as I am they'd ever let a sinner like me in. And what I didn't do enough watching over you, but I will until I see you again. And Reed always started I got chills. Reed always started every sentence with, "Hey, Dad." For 27 years. "Hey, Dad, you want to go get something to eat?"
Yeah.
"Hey, Dad, do you want to go to the movies?" It was, "Hey, Dad." And I think Reed looks down and says, "Hey, Dad, guess what? They let me in. Like, Dad, they let me in here."
He had a gold ticket in there.
He had a gold ticket.
Yeah. People need to understand how this really works.
Yeah.
You know.
It's not the things you do on earth, it's your belief in your heart.
Yeah.
It don't matter how many good things you do. If you still don't believe that he died on the cross, you're not getting it.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's a club.
It's just such a big thing that molds, like I said, Barry into who he is. So it's hard for us not to stop and appreciate Reed's story, even though it's a tragic one. It's horrible. And we get emotional every time we talk about Reed, but because of Reed, he has opened up that door of we are accepting of addiction, of mental health, of struggles.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Barry identifies with Jelly Roll so much,
Sure.
is because he had a son that he raised with all the right morals, all the right, everything that you're supposed to do as a dad. He spent time with him. He taught him things. He took him under. But Barry feels like he didn't. But Barry feels like, in some way, that he failed his son because his son didn't make the right decisions. But at the end of the day, we're only responsible for ourselves. And
Amen.
I think that I just think Reed's looking down saying, "Hey, Dad, they let me in.
Yeah.
I'm here."
And hey, Dad, thumbs up.
That's right. Yeah.
Let's take a moment.
Yeah.
I need one.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good choice. I wish I had something funny to say, but love y'all. I think all this comes out in y'all's chemistry in the morning, and it's fabulous. And I hope you win every effing award.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah.
Where are we? I'm lost.
Number one.
I'm going with Sturgill Simpson.
I love it.
Alias of Johnny Blue Skies.
Mm-hmm.
And the song, have you heard this one? It's called Mint Tea. Holly, you're going to love this song.
I've never heard this one.
You're going to love it. It's off his new release under Johnny Blue Skies. And I love the song.
Pretty close to the single I heard this morning. It was Green Tea when I was
whatever.
before breakfast.
Mint Tea. It's a good one. And you can tell it's Sturgill. In this song, it's Sturgill, right? And he's just using this John Lake blues.
While we're on the Sturgill topic, and we were texting Sunday night. Did anybody watch the Kennedy Center Honors Tribute?
I did.
Oh my goodness!
First of all,
They put Bonnie Raitt in.
they came out
Oh,
and Bonnie Raitt about started crying when they announced Emmylou Harris. She didn't know Emmylou was going to be there.
Oh yeah.
And they sang Angel from Montgomery. When the Dead came out, they did it for the
Yeah,
Dead.
they put the Dead in the
And
Kennedy Center.
Virgil was there, and the screen comes on, and Jerry Garcia is singing Ripple. And
It was dead, by the way.
his video, and his wife or his ex-girlfriend or whatever, she's losing it. And then after about a line in, Sturgill starts singing Ripple. And he just crushes it.
He's the man.
Well, that's good.
He nails it.
No, if Sturgill, there's no way he can fit in a tier format. I don't think. Has y'all ever played any Sturgill?
they never really pushed him out
They've never
to be
pushed
played,
them.
which is odd. Great
But we
companies.
would. We love it.
Well, there's one that could really fit in. This would be a good one. Number one.
I'll make
Outside of that is Water in the Well. Just
I've
saying.
heard it. I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's just country. It
I
would
agree.
fit into that radio
Yeah.
format.
Yeah.
So, it's my number one. Wow, guys, this is
stuff.
great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to listen to everyone's selections. It's going to be a super duper.
I agree. Look forward to
place.
listening to them.
You have to text me when you hear Heavens to Betsy.
When he puts this thing together, man, we're going to turn in our little forms here for him.
Yeah.
And it's going to